the
deportations.
the American people
ICE
don't.
is on notice.
They're on notice that they're going to go to prison for life.
There could be increased violence and confrontation in cities between
Cops should arrest
and the federal
kidnappers.
government.
Cops should be arresting the ICE kidnappers.
Thanks so much.
And they should be going to jail for life. And their enablers should go to jail for life for their
covers the
kidnapping.
Department of Homeland Security.
So let's talk.
New York Times.
If they start opening up these prisons, and they should be the ones to go in them. Because we need to get them in jail for life.
Are expected to soon leave Chicago and move their operations to Charlotte and New Orleans.
They should be moved to inside the detention centers themselves. ICE agents fell for the trap of, will you take $50,000 to kidnap a bunch of people? And they showed that they're the type of people who will take $50,000 to kidnap a bunch of people. So we should get ICE off the streets. And get these ICE kidnappers off the streets. Give automatic citizenship to everyone ICE contacts. Go ahead and start talking about that. So they stop contacting people. Because all they're gonna do is give them a fast track compensation and citizenship for all the hardships they caused them.
Of New York Times and is distributed by APM, American
the
Public
credits.
Media. You can go deeper into the stories you hear on the Daily.
I'm not impressed by the Daily.
/The Daily.
Their slant is very suspicious. And the guy they usually have hosting,
I'm Natalie.
he's really obnoxious. And then they have another girl who hosts it sometimes, and she's like, she like tries to sound like the boy who hosts it. And she's like, all the time. It's really bad. And then this lady might say, the Serengeti comes to life in a minute.
How do you hold on to your center of calm, even as you move through a busy day? Listen to CPR Classical. I am Patty Painter Wakefield with music to soothe your afternoons of food. Listen at 88.1 in Denver or at CPR.org.
Sorry.
Hi, I'm Hillary Hoffman, and my husband and I support CPR through our donor advised fund. I listen to CPR to be an informed member of my community. It's a pleasure to be able to continue contributing towards something that has been very constantly but subtly enriching my life. And it's also very important to me that everyone has the same free access to it. Learn more about giving through a donor advised fund at CPR.org. Immigrants in the U.S. send lots of money back to their home countries. Those payments are called remittances. And because of the ongoing immigration crackdown, with hundreds of thousands of deportations, you might expect that flow of money to slow down. But
I've been monitoring data systematically month to month since 2002, basically. And I haven't seen such an increase.
I'm Erica Barris, and today on Planet Money, we ask why remittances to some Central American countries are way up.
And I'm Guy Raz. Today, Garrett Shaw, CEO of Wayfair, joins me to take questions from a few early-stage entrepreneurs and also talks about what to look for in a co-founder.
Ultimately, you need to find somebody who's just a great partner. You have to be interested in doing complementary things, but then you really need to trust each other's judgment.
It's an hour of economics and innovation on how I built this.
And Planet Money from NPR.
Live from NPR News in Washington, I'm Shay Stevens. The government is being reopened after President Trump signed an already passed bill to end the shutdown. The Democratic sale of extended health insurance subsidies will soon expire. Ended when 7 Democrats
We can do this revolution hungry, or we can do this revolution uninsured.
Attempted extortion by Democrats.
So I just want to
No, you held food
tell the
stamps and
American
insurance
people
hostage.
we should not forget this when we come up to midterms and other things. Don't forget what they've done to our country. I also want to
We won't forget what you did to the
call
country
for
for Putin.
examination
Tried to
to
destroy it.
filibuster so that this could never happen again.
Trump also says he's calling for direct payments to replace subsidies for people getting health insurance under the Affordable Care Act, which is also called Obamacare.
Also called Obamacare?
Has been sworn in as the newest member of Congress.
Yay, release the J.P. Morgan Trumpstein files.
In September to succeed her late father in the U.S. House, but was not seated until now. As NPR's Sam Greenglass reports, she now has provided the last signature needed to force a House vote on releasing the so-called Epstein files.
House Speaker Mike Johnson administered the oath after weeks of declining to cede Grijalva while the House was not in session.
50 days that over 800,000 Arizonans have been left without access to the basic services that every constituent deserves.
Crazy how anti-democratic Trump mutineers are.
Short. That is why
I'll be right back.
I will sign the discharge petition right now to release the Epstein files.
The files have come back to the forefront after House Democrats released emails suggesting President Trump knew about the sexual abuse Epstein was committing. The White House says the emails prove Trump did nothing wrong. Sam Greenglass, NPR News.
We all know
Washington.
that Trump's guilty.
European nations are expressing
see you in just a
concerns
minute.
over
Be
the
right back.
Pentagon's military buildup in the Caribbean. But Secretary of State Marco Rubio says that no one mentioned it to him during the G7 meeting in Canada.
Nobody tells Marco Rubio you need. Why would anyone tell Marco Rubio you need? Be right back.
Rubio brushed off reports that the UK is withholding certain intelligence from the US because of concerns about deadly strikes on alleged drug boats from Venezuela.
We have very strong partnerships with the UK and other countries. Again, nothing has changed or happened that has impeded in any way our ability to do what we're doing, nor are we asking anyone to help us with what we're doing in any realm, and that includes military.
Rubio says the U.S. has plenty of military assets in the region that can collect intelligence for what he calls a counter-narcotics campaign, and he says this issue never came up during his meetings with other G7 foreign ministers. Michelle Kellerman, NPR News, the State Department.
Wall Street stocks closed mixed Wednesday, with the Dow Jones Industrials gaining 326 points to close at a new record high of 48,254. This is NPR. The head of the Federal Reserve Bank in Atlanta says he's retiring, but his term ends in February. Raphael Bostic's departure opens up a seat on the Fed's interest rate setting committee as President Trump pressures the central bank to lower interest rates. President Trump is calling the Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. In a letter to Israel's President Isaac Herzog, Trump calls the corruption of President Netanyahu unjustified prosecution. Last month, in a court as part of his trial on Israeli charges of fraud, bribery, and breach of trust. The International Criminal Court is accusing him of committing crimes against humanity in Gaza.
Which he did.
Netanyahu has pleaded not guilty to all of the charges. The International Energy Agency has released its closely watched World Energy Outlook, a data-driven look at the planet's future energy use. In it, NPR's Camilla Dominowski reports that the agency lays out sharply divergent views.
Didn't Netanyahu congratulate Biden? Isn't that why Trump and he were supposed to be enemies? Just kidding. They're obviously working together the whole time.
The age of electricity has arrived.
Never really.
Electricity demand booms.
Oh, well, thanks for being here now. I'm not here this early at the night usually, but I started to more often.
Natural gas grows while oil either grows or levels off, based mostly on how quickly electric vehicles take off. Varying scenarios see different degrees of global warming, but in all of them, the world exceeds a globally agreed target of warming to 1.5 degrees.
So we really shouldn't accept any of those scenarios.
Support for NPR comes from NPR stations.
Anyway.
Go really endowment, a private foundation supporting NPR's coverage of religion and spirituality. And Y'all and Pamela Moon, focusing on civil liberties.
When are you usually on?
Public radio and the arts.
The programs you enjoy on CPR are thanks in part to generous sponsorship from Coble & Company, a Colorado corporate partner, a program that showcases companies that make a difference in our state. Coble & Company has been enriching lives through creating legacy communities for over 70 years. Since 1952, Coble has delivered residential in-town neighborhoods, mountain resort communities, and innovative commercial developments across Colorado and beyond. CobleCo.com. This is Planet Money from NPR.
About a year ago, Larissa Vargas was sitting at her desk at the headquarters of the largest bank in Honduras. She was watching this flow of money coming from overseas, and it was picking up.
It was gradual. Then, over the next weeks, months, that flow of money from overseas into Honduras continued to intensify. She was like, what is going on here? She was surprised. I mean, this keeps going. Larissa works at Banco Ficosa. She is the remittance manager. She's been working in that department for 20 years. She handles the more than $1 billion that come into bank accounts from other countries, mostly the U.S., through all kinds of channels, like Western Union and MoneyGram.
In her years at the bank, she's seen some changes. Like, as more Hondurans have moved to the United States, remittances have grown a lot. As technology has gotten better, it's gotten easier to send money across borders and to track it.
What has been happening this year?
Well,
YouTube
this
wanted me
year,
to ask
actually, it's been
food that smells way better than it tastes.
We have had
The YouTube
a growth
question
of
robot is obsessed with food.
increase, which is not typical. So that's a lot, Erica. I mean,
26% growth in remittances since last year. Whew.
it's definitely been a rowdy year.
Remittances, in case you're not familiar, are the money people who have migrated to another country send back to their countries of origin. They work, send, they earn back to support their families, or maybe to build a house or open a business back in their hometowns.
Migrants abroad tend to send remittances on a regular basis, like every couple weeks or every month. So the change that Larissa first noticed last fall in the amount of dollars people were sending monthly, it was pretty small at first.
Like, for example, there was like 280, it was the average, amount. And now we were seeing 290, 300. So we were like, oh, okay.
That change, that was the first clue that something big was happening. Then in like January, she started to see much bigger deposits.
I think they're sending all like their life savings too.
How did you notice it?
Yeah, we've seen remittances for $7,000, $10,000 that we know that they're sending way more money and that they definitely had it saved up somewhere else.
Or were you like, why is there so much money coming in?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, yeah, no, we have constant communication with our remittance companies. And so, we're like, hey, are you guys seeing this on your end? It's an important part in our economy.
So he says it seems like every business she sees is trying to get in on some of that remittance action. Like, hey, come pick up your remittances here. We'll cash it out for you.
And of course, we'll collect a transaction fee and you'll spend some of the money you receive at our business. So like supermarkets are saying, come in and get your remittance and use it toward your groceries. Or a bank is like, deposit your remittances